Hey guys, PhilInTheBlanks here for another one of my speedruns. This time I'm commenting on my Sonic the Hedgehog 2 speedrun for the Sega Genesis. Alright, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 released in 1992. It'll be a little hard to comment on some of these things because the levels can go by pretty fast, so I'll have to try to keep up with it. Level 1 is one of the harder levels just because, well, look at how much I'm bouncing around here. This took a lot of retries just because of this level. So I'm glad it got over with in one. You know, it's over with at the very beginning of the game. I was never a big Sonic the Hedgehog player when I was a kid. I was a Nintendo kid when I was growing up. I had the Nintendo and Super Nintendo. But my best friend at the time, he had a Sega Genesis, and he had Sonic 2, so I got to play that a lot. So Sonic 2 is probably my favorite Sonic game, though I do like 3 and Sonic & Knuckles a lot too. And I'm personally not a big fan of the 3D Sonics. I'm not a fan of Sonic Adventure, Adventure 2, Heroes, and definitely not Sonic 06. So, you know, I like my Sonics to be 2D for the most part. Generations was good, though. I really liked that one. And I thought Unleashed was pretty good, too. It's weird that I started speedrunning this game simply because, at the time, Speed Demos Archive, the speedrunning website that I was a part of, they didn't have a single Sonic the Hedgehog run at all for any of the games. And there was, for a while, everyone was trying one, and for a little while it seemed that the Sonic games were a bit cursed, that anyone who tried to do a speedrun, something bad would happen. The only specific one that I can remember is the guy who tried to do this right before me. It was online, name was Radioactive Jellyfish. His cat spilled something on his Sega Genesis and broke the machine pretty much, and it was just funny how things would happen to all these people trying to do Sonic speedruns. So I just decided to try it out. So I borrowed a Sega Genesis and Sonic 2 from a friend and tried. And I mean, I'm glad I was the first one on the website to have a full single segment playthrough of a Sonic game. And while none of the actual individual levels are world records, some of them fall a bit behind, quite a bit behind on the world records. At the time was one of the first in speedruns of the entire game all at once online. So I'm proud of that in that sense. That being said, my time is around 24 minutes, whatever. I'll tally it up when I get to the very end. Within 6 months, the time got destroyed by a guy whose online name is Mike89, and he pretty much royally destroyed my speedrun. But for the time, this was one of the fastest. I can't say it was the fastest because I don't have proof of that, but it was one of the fastest single segment runs of the game at the time. So I'm still proud of that. And for a guy who, again, I didn't play a lot of Sonic games, so this was a lot of fun for me to play a game, to get this good at a game that I didn't really care much for. And I really respect Sonic a lot more, having played through this so many times. And yeah, it gave me a lot more to like about the Sonic games after this. You'll notice that all my Dr. Robotnik fights are pretty boring because he's always so easy. There's so many ways to destroy him really quickly. I'll mention any specific things of note as we go by them. We just got past the first 4 levels or acts. Not much to say about them. I mean, other than the first level, the first act, it's pretty easy so far. If you miss a jump, sure, you have to start over, but overall it's not all that difficult. And everything goes pretty smoothly. And it does. My speedrun goes smoothly until we get to about Casino Night Zone, where things start to screw up a little bit. These two levels. Wow, I honestly can't remember the name of the zone, and it just said the name of it too. Oh well. These two are super easy. There's no real problems. There's no real ways you can screw up. They're very, very easy levels, which is good. Aquatic Ruin Zone, that's the name. Couldn't remember that for the life of me. But yeah, again, they're two very easy levels, which is good because the game, like every Sonic game, the game ramps up in difficulty like crazy later on. One of the things I noticed while speedrunning this game is how buggy it is. I'm lucky there's not too many bugs in this speedrun that you see, other than the ones that I try to do on purpose. But I've ruined so many playthroughs of this game because of random bugs where I'll fling through the scenery or things like that. Oh, this is interesting. I like this. There's a really easy way to kill Robotnik here, but it's weird that this will only work on that left pillar. You can't do this on the right pillar. For some reason, it won't work. I don't really know why. But on the left pillar, it allows you to just stay up there and spin dash into it. I think that's really cool. Anyway, going back to the bugs, yeah, a lot of runs were ruined because of little things where I'd glitch into scenery, or I'd get crushed under like an item box that just fell on top of me for some weird reason, and it was really frustrating. Out of all my speedruns, this is probably the most frustrating because a lot of things happened outside of my control, and it's just really frustrating when that happens. This is the first level where you start to see some mistakes. It's annoying. It's a little embarrassing, but right here, I think. Oh no, not here. But this whole act is like a pinball game, so you know it's a little difficult to know exactly where you're going to be going. Here it is, boing boing, and then I go back, and then I hit that, and back I go, and right here I should have kept going, but I didn't, and it's just frustrating because I don't know. You'll see single segment runs of like this level or other levels, and they're super fast, and I've had people go like, oh, you know, your time was really bad compared to this, and it's like, yeah, you know what, it was, but I'm also doing the entire game, which means if I make a small mistake in one of the levels, I have to keep going. I can't stop for every little mistake. But if you're doing a speedrun on one single level, I mean, that's only 1 minute. You know, like, if you screw up, oh, I only lost like 30 seconds, reset the game and do that again. Like, while in a full game speedrun, I mean, I might be wasting 16, 17 more minutes per attempt. So that's why, you know, speedruns of an individual level are always going to be much more polished than a speedrun of the entire game, unless you're just ridiculously good. And while I do think that I show some skill in this game, it's definitely not a game that I feel I'm super good at. Casino Night Zone was always one of my favorite levels when I was a kid too. I think most people will say that that their favorite level is always one of the casino pinball-y style levels. It's just a lot of fun. It was just like Sonic was all about speed and bouncing and turns into a ball, so it was just cool to see levels that really took advantage of that, like Casino Night Zone. And it was just fun. I mean, I remember wasting hours just kind of just going to the slot machine and getting a bunch of rings and racking up one-ups. Here I make a few mistakes. It's hard to control a little bit. Maybe not control, but I did screw up here because I fall into his electricity right there. And then I get hit again, then again, and again. It's a little annoying. This run, if for whatever reason I wanted to try it again, there's so many places I could save time. Like watching it now, I remember a lot of places that I could go faster in, but it's just I still hold the fact that Sonic games are really difficult to control, and things easily get out of your control really fast. I do pretty good in the hilltop zones, though. There's, I think, a couple mistakes here and there, but nothing crazy. Like, oh, I missed my step for a second, or oop, I got hit. But nothing like. There's a couple mistakes later on that I'm just. They're cringeworthy, and there's nothing in this zone that's like that, which is good. Like right there, I missed a platform. I waste maybe a second. I like the music in the song. I don't know. It's one of those... Music gets stuck in my head really easily, and Hilltop Zone is actually one that I'll be at work, and all of a sudden in my brain, that'll start, that beginning. I don't know, it's just, Sonic music's really good, I find. It easily gets stuck in my head. It doesn't matter how long it's been since I've played it, it's just really catchy. Yeah, I like this part. Getting hit by the lava on purpose so I can get through without having to wait for it to go down. Oh, keep in mind, unlike my Mega Man speedrun and a few of my other speedruns, where I thought a lot of the tactics myself, pretty much every single strategy or route or tactic in this entire run was not devised by me. There's a website, thesoniccenter.com or org. I should look into that. I'll post a link in the description, but I mean, they're a group of people who just absolutely love the Sonic games, and they have individual level speedruns and crazy strategies and tactics, and yeah, everything you're seeing in this run came from them, and they do it so well too. It's just crazy watching some of those guys like destroy a level in a Sonic game. So if you're thinking, oh wow, what a good idea, then it wasn't me who thought of it. To be honest, I don't really know why I decided to do this run. Yeah, I know, like, I wanted to break the Sonic curse that for some reason had a hold on everyone at Speedrunners Archive, but I don't know why I chose this game for a series that I'm not really that familiar in. And I think the reason why this is, it's a good speedrun, but it's definitely one of my more mistake-filled runs, I think, is because I don't think I was interested in playing Sonic more than I had to. Still glad I did it. I mean, it was still fun. It was frustrating, yeah, but it was still fun. Oh, I make a mistake in Mystic Cave Zone. That's really annoying. This is one of the examples of, maybe it's not really a bug or glitch. It's just frustrating. And I'll point it out. It's where I pull one of those bridge things. I'm not sure if it's in the first act or the second act, though. Oh, here it is. There we go. Boink, hit that. Fall right through the bridge. Even though the bridge was clearly there, but because it didn't actually reach its end point, the game doesn't think it's there, so the platform itself isn't recognized. And that's just crap like that. You know what I mean? Like, I like the 2D Sonic games, but there's so much crap like that that just frustrate the hell out of me. One thing you might notice that I'm playing this game without Tails. Some speedruns will notice Tails is there, some you'll notice he's not. Some, there's like 2 or 3 techniques that actually require Tails. I chose to run completely without him because for the first little while I was trying to do the game with Tails, just because that's the default setting, and I didn't think it mattered at the time. But man, he gets in the way. Like, you won't even notice until you're doing stuff like this, but you're just running around. All of a sudden, Tails will get in the way of something. He'll hit a button he wasn't supposed to. He'll hit an enemy that you were supposed to hit to bounce off of, or just, oh. So, I just decided to run this game without Tails, just because it was just such a headache. Just ridiculous. I love this boss battle, because I remember when I was a kid, this boss battle used to give me a lot of trouble. So now, just knowing just to do this, it's hilarious. So one of the things I love about speedruns is this type of stuff. Watching someone just destroy a part of a game that you had a lot of problems with when you were a kid. And maybe that was one of the reasons why I ran this game, because I did like this game when I was a kid because my friend had it, but I did find it pretty difficult. We could beat it, sure. But it wasn't easy. Yeah, I find Mario games much easier than Sonic games. So maybe that was it. Maybe I just wanted to prove to myself I can get really good at this game. Oil Ocean is an interesting world. I use a pretty risky technique here. I get hit by the fan there, which is annoying. But right here, you can pretty much bypass most of the level. But you have to be really careful. There's a very small window from underneath the platform to the bottom of the screen, and hitting the bottom of the screen will end up in death. You will die. So you have to be really careful. But it saves so much time, so I decided to do it. I hit the fan here, and that's so annoying. So now I have to wait. Ugh. But I do end up saving a lot of time just by doing this route. I was really... When I started planning the run, I really was wondering if I was going to do it like that because it was so risky. And at this point, I mean, I'm a good, like, I'm nearing, what, 15 minutes into the game right now. And losing there is the most frustrating thing in the world. And I have lost a life there every couple runs, and it's so frustrating. Thankfully, I get through it. So, you know, it's not that big a deal. This upcoming level, Oil Ocean 2, you're going to see... a glitch that I do on purpose, and I don't know who found this glitch out. It's really cool though. I'm gonna try to explain what's happening, what the game is is doing. See, I bounce up there, I miss. Normally you get hit into those little circle things and it propels you, but because the game didn't actually propel you, it doesn't reset the physics on Sonic's movement. At least that's what I think is going on. So I'm jumping a lot higher and I'm moving faster, and it's almost like I'm playing a Supersonic. I still screw up, but you can jump so ridiculously high, so you can avoid and you can just bypass so much in this level because of that. And I love that glitch, and I really wish it was in other levels, just for the fun of it, because it's so fun to play as this. And you see, I avoid getting hit by that circle thing, or else my physics would reset. But what a great glitch. And here, I think it's here. Not yet, but boing, 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 boing. And then right here, my physics reset, and I don't know why. I've never understood how that glitch works. What I've just explained was what I think is happening, but feel free to correct me, because I'm not sure if that's actually what's happening. But yeah, all of a sudden his physics is back to normal, but it lasts through the whole stage, so it's really useful. And I think that was my favorite level of speedrunning. You feel so powerful when you're able to jump that high and move that fast, and literally just skip like half the level. I love that. This next coming act, Metropolis, which by the way is incredible music. One of the best tracks of any Sonic game. I love this music. So I'm just going to shut for like 2 seconds. Yeah, I love that. This is my biggest mistake in the run. It's coming up, and I'm still embarrassed and frustrated by this. And it's coming up soon, but the Metropolis zones are crazy. They're so maze-like. It's very easy to get lost. So they're really annoying to speedrun, I find. And this stuff. I think if you have tails, you go on these move faster. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you can gain time here with tails because it's 2 of you running on it. I think it's coming up where I make the mistake. No, it's not here. It's very soon though. But yeah, this is a long level. All 3 of the Metropolis levels are pretty long, which is really annoying. There is a glitch you can do at the beginning of, I think it's the second one. We can fall through lava to really speed up the level, but I didn't know of it at the time, so I didn't do it. And oh, okay, I guess that big mistake wasn't on the first level. So this one was clean, I guess. This was a clean run of this level. So it must have been the second one. So, you know, I'll point that out when I get there. I am thankful, though, that this game, compared to the Mega Man... Here, this is what I was talking about. You can fall through the lava here, and you can speed through the level a little faster. Anyways, in my Mega Man speedrun, I made a complaint about how whenever you beat a boss, you get that, like, 30 seconds. You got this weapon. I'm glad that Sonic the Hedgehog games don't have that, but it is frustrating when you beat a level under 30 seconds. You get like 50,000 points, and you have to wait for it to click down at the end, and oh, it's so frustrating how long that takes. It's just annoying to have to sit through it, that's all. I think Metropolis zones are, like, the Metropolis zone was the area in the game where I had to restart the most. They're long levels, there's a lot to screw up in, Missing a jump can make you have to backtrack. So I think a lot of the levels I had to start over, or I had to start my speedrun over again because of these levels, because they're just really frustrating. The mistake that I make, though, it's costly and it's frustrating and it's annoying, but I didn't restart it. Here it is. I hit the button, and then the bridge wasn't there. Like, why? It was because I hit it too, like, I didn't hit it enough, and then I missed the bridge. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. So what do? I hit the thing, and the bridge isn't there. Oh, like, that's... I blame the game. I'm sorry, I hit that button. Why wasn't the bridge there? Yeah, the second time when I missed the bridge was totally my fault, but if the bridge was there the first time, I would have made it, and that still pisses me off to this day. I almost restarted there, but I decided not to. I was just getting tired. And to be honest, this wasn't my first completed run of the game. There was actually another one that I almost submitted into Speedrunner's archive, where I actually die at in this next level, Act 3 Metropolis Zone. And then I continued to beat the game, and it was still a good time. It was if I hadn't have died, I think the time would have been faster than this is, but having an annoyingly stupid mistake like you just saw is always better than a full death, unless the death is on purpose. So I decided to scrap the death one and keep going with this one. I was just getting tired by now. This is the longest I had ever worked on a speedrun. It was a few months, and you know, for something that's not like an RPG or a very long adventure game, I mean, this is a half-hour 2D platformer. Spending that much time on a speedrun for it is pretty crazy. So I was just tired of it. I wanted to get through it, so I submitted this one. I do think I could have done better, but Mike89 was the guy who was helping me with a lot of this, and I knew he was taking a crack at it, so I knew that, I mean, this guy, he's infinitely better at Sonic games than I am. I mean, he taught me everything I learned for these games, and like 6 months later, he just destroyed my speedrun, so I knew he was working on one anyways, so I submitted what I had, and then promptly got destroyed by Mike89. But I mean, the guy deserved it. I mean, like, I like this run. It's fun. It's entertaining to watch. But if you want to see a really good speedrun of any Sonic game, look up Mike89. There's also, there's also a couple other guys who are really, really good at this stuff. At Sonic speedrunning. I'm gonna look up. I think it's Joe Stansky, who currently has the record at Speed Demos Archive. I'm gonna go check that out right now. Oh no, it is. Oh wow. Shows how long I haven't been to the website. Mike89, his full name is Mike McKenzie, as of the 28th of March of last year, has the world record at, 16 minutes. That's really good. But Joe Stansky was another guy who's also really good at the Sonic games. He has most of the records for the individual levels, which is really cool. I love that battle against Eggman there, or Dr. Robotnik. Really easy to do. I remember when I was a kid, it was one of those that I had a lot of trouble with. This next level, I hate it. I mean, I like it. Sky Chase Zone is a cool level, but for Speedrunner, any level where you have to sit and wait for the screen to go is annoying. It's a bit of a rest because, I mean, I'm not going to die here. I'm not that bad at the game that I'm going to die at Sky Chase Zone. But it also means that I can't do anything that makes my run go faster. I can, like, have some fun and try to entertain people. I don't think I'm really good at that when it comes to gaming. But it's annoying. It's like it's a nearly 2-minute level. It's really just keeps going. And I get hit. But I guess technically I have the world record for this, but only because every single person who's ever played this has the world record for it. because there's no way to make it go faster. After I did this, I thought about doing a 100% speed run of this game, which would require me to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds so I can become supersonic. But I never even tried it. One of the reasons why is because, first of all, you have to get all 7 Chaos Emeralds, and that by itself is just really not difficult, it's just, it takes a long time to do. And it's always the same. And there's no way to make it go faster, because the 7 Chaos Emerald levels are fixed speed, so it's just like... Ugh. And to be honest, I don't think having Supersonic would make any levels go faster. I mean, maybe 1 or 2 of them, but the fact that you have to get 50 rings in a level in order to activate Supersonic means you have to go around looking for rings. So I don't think... I mean, I know it would be a much slower speedrun just because of the Chaos Emerald levels. But I don't think any level, like any individual level, would benefit from having Supersonic. There we go. Okay, it's finally done. Wing Fortress. It's a fun level. There's a crazy strategy in this that I don't do because I'm like 20 minutes into the run now. I mean, I'm not gonna make like a crazy risk like that. So I decided to play it safe. I did have an individual speedrun of this level, which was up on Speedrun's archive for a while, which did have a much crazier strategy. It's really cool, but it's very risky and hard to do. So I take it easy in this one. Nah, I think I've said it before in this video that I really like the Sonic music. I'm not a big fan of the Sega Genesis sound, that kind of weird metally, tingy sound, but I do find the Sonic games have it. They've done it well, but I've never liked this level's music. I don't know, it feels so bland compared to a lot of the music in this game. And this game has great music. I mean, Emerald Hill Zone, Chemical Plant Zone, every other zone, there's some good music. And then to have, I don't know, this level, kind of boring music. And here's the music again. It's just, I don't know, it just sounds so dull. And I know it's trying to be like kind of like a military kind of sound, but I just find it really dull. Here's another frustrating part, just like in Sky Chase Zone. None of this is controlled by me. This is all part of the game, and the timer's still going, and I have to wait for this. He has to catch up with the rocket. And I mean, it's cool and cinematic when you're playing and you're a kid. You're like, oh, cool, you know, he's gonna go up in space. But as a speedrunner, you're just like, oh, get it over with. I remember when I was a kid too. You die if you hit 10 minutes, and I beat the level at like 9 minutes something, and the timer went to 10 minutes while I was on the rocket ship, and I died. And I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me. It's like not even a part I can control, and I died. Awesome. But yeah, this is frustrating. Just how long this takes. Alright, Death Egg Zone, last level of the game. 2 bosses in a row with 0 rings, no hits. This strategy I love, because before I had a strategy for him, I made a lot of more mistakes and I died on him a lot more, and now he's super easy, because what a great strategy to open up with. I love it. This upcoming strategy, now this is weird. Everyone I've ever talked to about this run goes, I can't believe you excuse the double entendre, but you got him from behind. I guess this is like the most dangerous way to kill him, but this is the only way I knew how to kill him when I was a kid. I had no idea you could hit him from the front. I thought you had to hit him in the butt. So everyone who saw that on Speedrun's archive was like, why are you hitting him from there? It's so much riskier. And I just thought that's how you had to do it, so I did. So I think that's kind of funny. I don't think I lose any time from going back there, but I guess for some people it's impressive that I did that instead of the front. But there you go. That's the entire game of Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which again is not a world record, and my time has been defeated many times by now. But the total time is 24 minutes and 23 seconds, and I think that is each individual level's time added together, so not the time from me pressing start at the title screen to the end of the game, like a lot of other games do. Speed Demers Archive, that's the way they time it. If a game has an internal clock, they'll use that internal clock. For example, again, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, every level has a clock. So they'll use that when calculating the time it takes to beat the game. Other games like Super Mario or my Mega Man speedrun, they don't have an internal clock, so they'll time it from the frame I begin controlling my character or controlling the outcome of the game. For example, in Mega Man, on the enemy select screen, till the second where you don't need to input anything into the character anymore. For example, in Mega Man, the second Dr. Wily dies. But in this, yeah, they added up all the, I think, anyways, they added up all the times for the levels. Yeah. One of the things I liked about the Sonic endings, I think Sonic 2 is not the only one that does this. I think Sonic 1 and Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles do it too. During the credits, during the music, during the credits, they have like a medley of all the songs from the game. And I think that's really cool. Has a kind of nostalgic feel to it. It's like, oh, I beat the game, and you hear the music. Oh yeah, I remember all the hardships I had in this level, and I always thought that was cool. Mario 3 did kind of like that, but not with the music, like with the maps. I thought that was kind of cool. I was asked recently if I was ever gonna speedrun another Sonic game, and I can say absolutely not. This was the most frustrating speedrun I've ever done, and it's far from the best speedrun I did. For all that work, it's definitely not the one that held up the most. So Sonic is just not a series that I'm a huge fan of, and even if I was, they're ridiculously hard games to perfect like speedruns out of. I just don't have that patience or time anymore. So no, I'm never going to be trying another speedrun of a Sonic game, and I'll probably never try this one either. So, but if you do want to see more Sonic the Hedgehog speedruns, you can at speeddemorsarchive.com, where you can get not just Sonic games, but a lot of other games too. So check that out. A lot of fun. You'd be surprised to see what kind of things they've done to your favorite games. And also at soniccenter.org, which again has some of the best, no, I take that back, not some of the best, they have the best Sonic the Hedgehog players. And if you want to see some crazy stuff for Sonic games, including individualized, individual level speedruns, then go check them out. They're just insane. I'd like to thank a couple people for their help in this. First of all, Speed Demos Archive, of course. Radix, who at the time was heading Speed Demos Archive. Just thanks a lot. Without him, I wouldn't have had anywhere to put this type of stuff. Mike89 for helping me out with the various strategies. Everyone at the Sonic Center. Radioactive Jellyfish, he was the one who was doing this before me. And thanks to his cat, who ruined his Sega Genesis, I was able to do this. And in my original comments, I thanked Tim Hertz. His actual name is Tim Hurst, who lent me the copy of Sonic 2. So thanks a lot. And hope you liked it, and hope to have some more up. See you guys later.